Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Say More Live podcast, where young people are going to be discussing key issues affecting young people in Harrow. Today, we have speakers and hosts such as Andrei. Can we make some noise for Andrei? And also Abdiwahab. These are key leaders at NOMAD, and well, I'll leave it the rest to them. Make some noise.
These chairs are comfy, innit?
Very much, bro. Trust me. But like you said, welcome to the Say More Live podcast. This is Double A Business. I'm AB and I'm here with
Dre.
Our real names don't really matter. Knife crime really does.
Calm down, bro. A little serious.
But is that not what they came here for, though?
We'll ease into it, but I got a question for the audience. How many of you guys, put your hands up if you guys are from Harrow or have been living here for a while.
You with the white shirt at the back, how long you lived here for?
Well, I grew up in Rains Lane,
Yeah.
so all my life moved to Harrow when I left home in 2020.
Do you mind if I ask you, what's your experience in Harrow for you, or like, generally?
Good, generally, yeah.
So if someone asks you about, how is Harrow, you gotta tell them it's just straight good.
Well, I've lived here in Central Harrow for 20 years, 25 actually. So yeah, I'm quite happy here. Proud to be part of Harrow.
Would you?
I know what I see may be different to what young people see.
Of course.
Of course, but
So yeah, I grew up in these streets when I was 16. We used to have breakdancing crews. And we used to battle with Watford and things like that. So I've been here all my life, seen it change a lot. Yeah, perhaps you could argue that certain things have changed for the young people these days. I'm not so much in touch with that, if I'm honest.
so would you say maybe when you was younger or now that have you been affected by knife crime maybe?
No, I haven't seen any of it. I hear about it,
Yeah.
but I haven't been affected or it hasn't come into my life.
Right. It is different for every person, but now we'll touch into the subjects that me and AB think are causes of knife crime. So, AB, what are some causes of knife crime?
There's different causes of knife crime, if you ask me. But one of the main ones I would say is grooming. Because really and truly, young people, it's not that hard to impress. Just buy them a meal from the chicken shop or show them you got some nice shoes or some nice clothes. They will see that as being rich. They will see that as, this guy, he can do whatever he wants. But really and truly, that's more to the side that they know of. They don't know what they have to go through on a daily basis for them to get this money.
Yeah, of course. I feel like grooming is a really big part of knife crime, especially when you're young and very impressionable. You do see when you see older people when they have a lot of money, and then maybe you're in a bit more of a struggle with money, especially in Harrow. There's a couple of income areas. You get impressed if they was to buy you some shoes or maybe they was to buy you some food. That's really how they get you into that lifestyle, you know?
Yeah, and they don't always aim at every single child. They aim at children that live in a low-income housing, so it's more easier to impress. And they just see a flash of money, and they'll be like, if he can do it, why can't I? If he can do this, why can't I? And that's really a sad story because they just go in there, these older people don't really care about them. They just want them to go down this road so they don't have to go through the trouble, they don't have to get caught. So it's a bit sad, but yeah, Andrei, while I was speaking about grooming, I think it's kind of related to gang life, don't you think?
Of course it relates to gang life. Like I said before earlier, young people are very impressionable and they don't understand the consequences of the gang life. And nowadays, even in music videos and stuff like that, it's always glorified. And being a normal person working a 9 to 5 or doing normal people stuff is seen as, it's not glorified, it is looked down upon because you don't have chances to get rich. Well, that's what young people think,
Yeah, there's more to the story than they believe in. I mean, the generation we live in right now, everyone believes that if you go get qualification, you're not part of the mandem. But really and truly, you're doing something that's gonna benefit you and in 5 years' time, I promise you, the people you're with right now, most of them you're gonna stop speaking to them. So why are you trying to make choices for now that's gonna affect your future? That's what people don't really think about. While I was speaking about that also, gang life and postcode was still the same thing as well. Because really and truly, everyone here is trying to make money, but they're still selling the same stuff. And it usually starts with someone else trying to sell something in different territory or different area. And that is how someone gets killed or gets hurt. But really and truly, they're just trying to make money. They have the same intention as the people that sell it in that area. You know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I like to say that once you get in, you can low-key can never really get out. You know, I mean, even if you are one of the 2% that do make it out and don't end up in jail or dead, and you do make it with stuff maybe like music. You've seen countless rappers that have escaped, that have made money, that have tried to stop their life, and then the past has come back and has bit them. Like not even in this country, in so many other countries, rappers like Pop Smoke, for example, he came out of that lifestyle, and then because of the life he lived before, it co-opted him, and he got murdered. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a great point, Andrei. I was gonna touch on these shows on Netflix shows like Top Boy and Super. So they really show the downside of young people getting groomed or young people get into the gang life. The two topics we were just speaking about. It's like, has anyone watched Top Boy here? Show of hands, right? You see how Stefan is influenced by his older brother because he did at the start. Stefan didn't know what his brother was up to, but when he found out, he low-key got into it more and he started getting into the wrong audience, going in the wrong circle. Do you get? So that's one way of young people getting into their life. It's through family. It's through people older than them showing them, oh, if I can do it, I promise you can do it as well. You just have to give it a try. Do you get? But they don't really see how Jamie was really struggling, how Jamie almost got killed, he got kidnapped. Stefan did not see that. He only see the clash of hands. You only see how his brother got respected. So I'd be like, the way gang life is advertised, I feel like it's a bit unfair to the young people. But at the same time, if they don't see it, they will see it eventually, right? Is there anything you want to add?
No, we really said everything about gang life. It's just, we just need to be more aware. The young people need to be more aware, more educated on the consequences of being in a gang, of being part of that lifestyle. But yeah, on to the next topic now. Another one that I think relates to both the grooming and the gang life is drug misuse. Whether you are doing drugs, right, at the young ages of 13, 14 nowadays, I see 12-year-olds smoking, I see stuff like this. And obviously, when you smoke, you need money to smoke. You need money to do the stuff you wanted to do. And they can't get a job at the age of 12. They can't get a job at 13. What they can do is they see the people that are 3 years older than them making £300 in a day, £400 in a day, and they want to be just like them. They get roped into that lifestyle, and then they get into the harder substances. You know?
Yeah, like you said, one thing just leads to the other. It just needs you to try it. And when you try, you're gonna be like, oh, this feeling is nice. I want to do this again. But how are you gonna do this again if you have no money?
Of course.
Do you get?
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. But drugs misuse, I would say it's more of a thing where it's just not natural for you to use at the same time. If it was natural, your body would be born with it. But it's something you add into your body that's gonna harm you. But at the same time, you think, oh, I'm feeling nice, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
Just because you don't see on the outside doesn't mean it doesn't hurt on the inside. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add?
There's so much to unpack. It's just a very sensitive topic, but at the same time, it's just been desensitized in so many ways. People just see it as normal to smoke weed at 15, to do stuff like this, when it really just damages your brain. It makes you not think clear, brings laziness into your life.
Hey, you know what happened? What was it? A few weeks ago, I was just running around the park,
Yeah.
And then I saw a 13-year-old smoke, and I was like, When I was 13, I was just at home playing FIFA, Fortnite with the guys. I didn't even know what weed or smoking or anything was. So I was like, okay, well, because I didn't see it doesn't mean everyone else has come across or the childhood been like that. But it was a bit surprising when I spoke to him. He kind of really told me, oh, I'm smoking because it's taking me away from all this overthinking, all this pain. But really and truly, is it actually though, or is it what your mind told you? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. I know what you mean, but then again, the young people, they're not developed enough, they're not educated, they're not mature enough to understand that type of thing, and it's never really their fault. It's just more the people that are around, more of the people that have influenced them to think that the drugs will make it feel better, to make them feel like it makes them cooperate with the things better. But nah, it's a very delicate subject. Got anything else to add?
Yeah, man, it's just that young children should not be groomed, should not be born into that lifestyle, should not be using any drugs. They should be in school, getting taught how to do 1+1 or trigonometry, or learning how Macbeth killed someone, but not this lifestyle. This really surprising, because I was so off when I moved here. I was like, oh, like everyone is just minding their business. But when I really deep in the situation, when I really looked closer, I've seen a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I was like, that's actually sad. Like, it's a bit unfortunate how people could just grow up like that. And yeah, man.
Of course, and it's like, if you was to look at it 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you never see children so young smoke. And if 15 years later it's gotten to that point, then how is it going to be like in 15 years from now? You know what I mean? Is you're going to see primary school kids smoking.
Yeah.
It's
actually not really funny, man.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it's going right now. If
course.
we don't come up with solutions or change something, right? But Andrei, I want you to get a bit deeper, talk about lived experience. I know you got a couple ones to share.
I do have a couple experiences with knife crime. I'd say the biggest part. Not the biggest part, but one that I could really think of is in school times. I'd have there was these people that would chill in the block that was in the area, and obviously if they chilled there, the older people there would start punching them up, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff like that to them if they wasn't carrying a shank, if they wasn't doing this type of stuff for protection. And then this led to another, they would start bringing knives into school, other stuff as well, to sell, to do this type of things. And then, of course, they got caught, they got kicked out, and then since then, I've seen their life just go downhill from there. It's just gone from getting kicked out of school to go into like those schools where people get kicked out. They don't get no GCSEs from there because in their head they're thinking they're gonna start selling drugs to make money for the rest of their life. And then they come out of the school system where now they have the choice to do what they want, and then they choose the wrong stuff to do and they end up in prison. Worse, God forbid, they end up dead. But yeah, it's a lot of experiences. What about you, got any?
Yeah, before I go into mine, but it's whatever you talked about, it sounds like a domino effect. It's like it started with a small little problem, and that problem created a whole loads of problem. See how he went from getting punched up by the elders, and then he started feeling unprotected when he started carrying. And then after, he got kicked out of school, and then after that, he went to a different school where he didn't really like it, and now he wants to pursue a lifestyle that he thinks is going to work out. But it's a bit unfair for him, and I kind of feel bad for him, because really and truly, like, selling drugs is not a long term. Everyone sells drugs to get out. They don't sell, they're not going to be like, oh, my job is to sell drugs. My job is forever sell drugs. That's not what they want. They just want to flip their money they have and have enough so that they can never, ever associate themselves with that anymore. That's what everyone's goal is, to be honest. What do you think?
I wouldn't, of course, that is everyone's goal, but it's easier said than done, because once they get that money, where they could just come out of this area and go build a better lifestyle. They're like, if I made this money like this so easily, I can do it again. And then it just, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again until you get caught, and then you get sent to prison. You come out, you've got a thingy. You've been to prison, so you can't get a job so easily, and yeah, it's just hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. Well, with my lived experiences in Harrow, it's about last year when there was, I don't know, it was between 6 to 7, 8 stabbing in just a week's time. Yeah, it's a bit surprising. I see your face over there. That's how surprised I was, to be honest. It's just that it's a bit sad. I'm just like, It started with 1 or 2, and they saw how the police reacted after that, and that gave them the chance to do whatever they want. Do you understand? It was a bit. One of my friends actually was involved in that as well, and yeah, it was a tough week in Harrow, and I hope it doesn't happen again. But that just shows the raw side of knife crime, on how people.
Can I ask a question? Are there gangs in Harrow?
Is there what?
Gangs, to your knowledge?
Gangs in Harrow?
Yeah. I mean, forgive my ignorance.
Naturally, there's gangs everywhere, like gangs that you don't know of, and they're just a group of people that call themselves a gang, and they'll just go out just to prove that they are bad. They'll go out to prove, and just to stab someone just for the sake of it, for no reason. You know what I mean? Question?
I've also got a question. So do you think there's not really gangs, but people who participate in illegal activities, which then causes issues with other people who are also doing the same?
I feel like.
So it's like a knock-on effect. Do you think that's?
No, I feel like a lot of people sell by themselves. Like, they don't associate themselves with gangs, right? Like, I see a lot of people that say, "No, I do this by myself. I don't need no one else."
So with the 7 stabbings that happened in Harrow in 1 week, what the knock-on effect of that was a multiple stabbing each day, or was that from the same people? If you could touch a little bit more on that subject, it would be nice, because, like as another participant said, so there is going to be a Q&A segment. So you don't have to touch on it too much. Sorry.
But it's alright. But yeah, that is really what we really seen. Obviously, I've seen more, but this is what we feel like you lot should hear. And also, Andrei, that we talked about all the effects. We talked about how in 15 years, if this keeps going this way, it's just gonna go from worse to worse. So,
Yep.
What solutions do you have, Andrei?
There is a lot as a community we can do, but that's only if everyone joins up together. I feel like, having different youth clubs like NOMAD, doing certain activities in the park, like sports events, etc., would be really beneficial for the younger generation, so they can come out of having nothing to do and just going down the wrong path. What about yourself?
This one is pretty straightforward. I have a couple of friends that say, "Oh, if I didn't do this, I would have been a footballer. I would have been a star. I would have been at this." I feel like more talent shows, or like more football tournaments or basketball tournaments, or like more activities where everyone can just engage in and bring the community in, that will like take them away from the boredom they have or their need to just go out and see some people. If we create a strong enough community, I feel like, and everyone's a part, I feel like we could at least get into the head of you, and that's what matters. If you can get in their heads, because instead of letting them do whatever they want, they're here in front of us playing football, playing basketball, just doing everything they want in front of us, and not doing anything that's bad for them or for their image in the future.
Yeah.
But this has been the Same Old Life podcast. It's a double A business, you know how it is.